Welcome to Sports Roundtable. I am your host, Brandon Big B Hickman from Coast 97.3, and right into another week of some high competitive basketball for our county, New Hanover County. We're going to go on over to Hoggett High School. How you doing, Coach?
Good. How are you?
Women's varsity. Friday getting off a big win, Hoggett 58, West Brunswick 30. Women's varsity. Tell us about that.
It was a good bounce back game for us. Okay. We had a little bit of a struggle earlier in the week on Tuesday against Ashley, but to be able to come out Friday against West and kind of pick up a little bit of that intensity that we might have been lacking on Tuesday. We challenged them, on Thursday to get ready for Friday's game, and I thought they responded very well coming off of Tuesday's game.
On Friday's game, did we see some new players come in that you usually didn't have?
Well, I mean, in
not
a
really
game,
new, but
yeah, not necessarily new, but yeah, we played everybody.
Right.
In a game like that, it did get away from West a little bit, so we were able to get everybody in the game and give them some more minutes than they might normally get, which was good to see. Right. To allow them get a little game experience under the belt. At this point in the season, they've already had some, but we're at that point in the season where we try to get as many people in the game as we can, to rest some folks hopefully for a push at the end.
Coming up next week, you're on the road. Well, this week you're on the road. Yeah. Sorry. Coming up this week, you're on the road, and that takes a toll sometimes when you're not playing in your own gym. Like, you don't know what to expect. Coming up Tuesday against Laney.
Yeah,
tomorrow
Tuesday,
at Laney.
Exactly. Yeah, tomorrow night at Laney. It's always a tough battle. Has been for many, many years.
Okay.
It's what we try to get with our girls. Especially recently, we've challenged them about their approach to the game. Just trying to get them to understand that it doesn't matter who your opponent is. Right. You have to approach the game the same way every time mentally.
Right.
And always be prepared for whatever adversity may come your way, whatever they might throw at you. So, really focusing in on how they approach the game and how they prepare for that has been a big key the last week or so for us.
Got you. Do we put any emphasis, we just playing game to game, or do we say, okay, look, we're third in the conference, we want to pull something off, we want to
they know.
Try to fight for They
know. We had a little bit of a discussion about that recently. This last tail end push, what's important, where we need to be to get to where we want to go.
Right.
And so they know that the last 4 games are important for us, heading into the conference tournament and hopefully playoffs if we're fortunate enough to get there.
Okay.
So, just putting that into perspective and understanding, but at the same time, understanding that, it's not gloom and doom. Right. But we need to be prepared, and they know that these are games that we got to win.
Right. Tomorrow, Laney. Friday at North.
At North, yes. And they have girls that can score. They have a couple different girls that are averaging 15 a game or so. Between 12 and 15. So, the challenge is there.
Gotcha.
Again, at this point in the season, as we wind it down, every game's important. You got people that have injuries and sickness and all that stuff that you got to fight through. We've been low in numbers. The last couple of weeks, been down a couple games. We only had 8 players available.
Wow. Okay.
Or 8 or 9, and we just kind of been shuffling back and forth between those numbers lately.
When you get to this part of the season, do you, as far as practice is concerned, do we go conditioning, or do we just go, hey, here's a play, run this play?
For us, we still condition.
Gotcha.
We do. We still condition our girls because they still have to be ready to play all 4 quarters. So that's still part of what we do, and the girls know that. They know what to expect, and they're ready for it.
All right. Hoggett Vikings, tomorrow night, it goes down at E.A. Laney High School tomorrow night. So I need all the Vikings fans to get on the road. We at up 133. We're going to E.A. Laney.
That'd be a good one.
And then on Friday, we're going to get back on the road. We're going to cross the bridge, go to North Brunswick.
That's right.
So I need all the faculty, fans, of course the parents and students to get on over and root on your Hoggett Vikings women's varsity.
That's right.
That's what it is. Keep it locked. We got more on the way. It is Sports Roundtable, all brought to you by Papa John's. Welcome back to Sports Roundtable. I'm your guest host, Brandon Big B Hickman, and we're going on out to Ashley. Coach Gullish is in the building. How you doing, man?
Be doing good, man. Glad to be back here.
Good to see you. Tuesday, crosstown rivals. Last Tuesday, crosstown rivals. Hoggard, Ashley, always a big rival. And then Friday, you were up against North. Tell us about it.
Tell you what, I thought we were pretty fired up going in to Hoggard. We knew that it was going to be a tough game. I mean, Brett's guys are always very disciplined. You know, we'd have to run their three-point shooters off the line the best that we could. We played about a quarter together. I think coming out of the first quarter, it was 7-7. We blew a tire and turned 4 and flipped it all the way past the finish line from there. Yeah, we ended up having never seen this, but we had 2 field goals in the first quarter. Didn't score a field goal for the rest of the half. Fell behind.
Okay.
Got in a hole at halftime and just tried to eat away at it a little bit, but you know, Hoggard matched us punch for punch in the second half. Played it pretty even, but that second quarter was huge. We got down by 16 at halftime, and the kids fought back. And to be honest with you, it was probably a 12 to 15 point game down the stretch. But you know, we went in there and we battled. But you know, credit to their kids. Our guys just had an off night, and you can't have off nights in this league at all.
Right, you're totally right. Who did you see that was in that fight on Ashley trying to get us back on track?
I'll be honest with you, we saw about all we were going to see out of our starters. They just weren't getting it done.
Gotcha.
So we have some kids on the bench that have been in big games, and we wholesale substituted out. And honestly, our guys that came off the bench for us are the ones that really played with a lot of heart. And that's what I was so proud of. Those guys gave us that little extra shot that we needed. And to be able to go to your bench and see guys come out there and that are normally not in there together during the fight and do a really good job, makes you feel good as a coach that those guys are listening, you know, and they're putting it in at practice. So our guys really finished up and really competed to the end. I was proud of them.
Good. And Coach Gullish, you on the road tomorrow, go to Topsail High.
We do.
Tell us about that. What do you think you?
Right now, we're in a must-win situation,
Gotcha.
And we know that. We've put ourselves in that situation. The only people that are going to get it out of that is going to be us.
Right.
You know, I've got to be on point with organization, which you know, I'll take the blame on some of the things that we don't do well. But we have got to get on that bus and pull up the Topsail ready to play tomorrow night.
Gotcha.
Then we got a quick turnaround and 2 days of practice, and of course Kurt's bringing New Hanover over on Friday.
Right.
And you know what? We're going to have a battle on Friday night. They're quick. They've got really good guard play. They've got a couple kids that can step out and hit the 3-ball. I think the last time we played New Hanover, if I'm not mistaken, they might have hit it was either 11 or 13 threes.
Wow.
So we've got to get our hands up, and maybe these guys will go down to the pharmacy and grow about 4 or 5 inches next week.
What do you say, and I asked Coach earlier, when you're in this far into the season, do you still is it still condition one day and condition and plays, or plays and condition? Where are we at?
Well, right now it's just keeping everybody healthy. I think everybody goes through it. You don't know who's gonna, you know, the flu's going around.
Yes.
You've got you know, upper respiratory type things going around, and everybody's going to get hit by it. It's just a matter of when.
Right.
We do have a couple kids that have been hit by it this weekend. So you know, but everybody goes through it, and you have to fight through it, and that's why the kids that are there are called teammates, and
right.
you know, they can step up into those types of things.
Right.
But for the most part, we're done with what we need to do to prepare for teams, other than just go back and just really, right now, you need to be concentrated on getting stops and making shots.
Right.
And that's what it's really. But for us, as bad as we've shot free throws this year, we were on Friday night. We were 22 of 42, lost by 5. So if you look at that in a nutshell, we got to start knocking down some free throws when it really counts. But you know, the locker room's good.
Gotcha.
And that's a big thing coming down the stretch as long as you've got a solid locker room.
Really well.
Ours is tight.
Good.
We've just got to keep things together and keep grinding.
That's what it is.
Yes, sir.
And people love to hear that. Ashley, get ready. Tomorrow, we're going up the road to Topsail High. So I need all the fans, I need the parents, I need the faculty. We're going to Topsail, and we're going to bust the doors in and see what's going on inside of there. And then Friday, we at home, right?
Man, it's on
Against
Friday.
the Wildcats. So crosstown rival, you know, at the end of the county, from the city in the inner city, like it's going down, a great game, and look forward to being at that game.
Man, look forward to this week. It's going to be a fun week, D. Thank you a lot.
Yes, sir. Thank you. We got more Sports Roundtable on the way, all brought to you by Papa John's. Welcome back to Sports Roundtable. I am your host, Brandon Big B, and we're talking Hoggard men's varsity football. Coach Queen's in the building. How you doing, man?
Doing good. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well, and you're doing well. Coming off 2 wins last week.
Yeah, we had a really good week last week, couple of home games, and we got 3 of our last 4 on the road, so it was big last week for us to get a couple wins in those home games.
Okay, super big. And this week you go on the road, Tulane?
Yep.
Tulane tomorrow, and then North.
Then North on Friday.
On
Yep.
North on Friday. Let's look back at last week's game.
Yeah, we've
Can
got
we
some
do that?
highlight. Yeah, got some highlights from our 2 wins last week.
Okay.
Played Ashley on Tuesday night. Got off to a good start. Made Coach Gullidge mad there real quick. He called a timeout in the first quarter after we made a 3. But little bit of a slow start early on, but we were able to tie it up at 7 at the end of the first quarter, and then we just had a great second quarter. Outscored them 20-4 in the second quarter, and we had it going in a lot of different ways. Jacob Fisher there scored and with a nice pass right there, and we were able to make some shots from the perimeter, but also able to get the ball inside. Jackson Massey there with a nice basket inside, and Brady Rankin shot the ball well both games this week. I think he had 18 and 21 in the 2 games. Mason Bagley, a kid that we talked about last week, we pulled up from the JV team because of a couple of injuries we've got, and knocked down a 3 for us. Luke Lamport has just had a phenomenal season. He's comes off the bench for us and really gives us a huge lift and rebounds the ball, is able to finish plays around the basket. So really pleased with what Luke's been able to do here. He is finishing again, and it was just a really good win for us. Getting out running in transition, little dunk from Brady Rankin there. So I just was really proud of our guys. We had a really tough, close game all the way through against Ashley the first time, and so it was really good for us to be able to play so well against them. And then here's the game against West, and we got off to a tremendous start in this game. We led 14-0 to start the game, and then never allowed them to get closer than 9 the rest of the way. So anytime that you get off to a start like that, you hope that you can continue to keep pressure on the other team, and we did. And our guards were great early. Did a really good job of knocking down threes, getting to the basket. And then as we moved throughout the course of the game, we were really able to get some stuff inside. Sebastian Hedera right there, I thought he had his best game of the year, really played under control, and had finished with 17 points. Chris Gibbs scoring inside. So I've mentioned a lot of different players' names, and that's one of the things that's been so good for us this year, is that we have not had to rely on just 1 or 2 people. I mentioned Jackson Massey, and there he was finishing a play. Jackson has been guarding some of the other team's best players. Mikhail Pocknett for Ashley, and then Jaden Parker here. And Jackson just had a phenomenal week. guarding those two guys, and then he also was able to score. He was 5 for 5 from the floor in this game, had 6 rebounds and 4 steals. So it was just a really good week for us to be able to get 2 double-figure wins at home and keep ourselves in that first-place tie with New Hanover with 2 weeks left to go in the season.
That's what's up. Now, earlier I talked to Coach, and Coach said, I see a lot of discipline, and what I see, and this is just my opinion, your adjustment game is very, very good. It seems like the guys get back, might have had a rough game, they come back, adjust, try to fix what the problem is, and they actually executed the following game.
We talk about not wanting to ever have a losing streak. If you lose one, you bounce back and you try to win that next one, and you don't string losses together. And the guys have done a good job with that. And we've got a very experienced group, and so you hope that their maturity and their focus helps you. In those situations, and it has this year. And hopefully we don't have to, come off of many more losses. Hopefully we can keep winning. But it has been good that when that has happened, we're 16-4 right now, and so those 4 losses, they were able to bounce back, the next game and play really well.
Right, really big. 9-1 right now in conference, tie for first. 3-game lead. You both have a 3-game lead, so it's a little scrap out now.
Yeah, this week was big. Being able to put some distance between ourselves and the other 2 4A schools competing for the number 1 seed from the 4A side in the state playoffs, and so we've got I think we've got a 3-game lead over Laney, and I think maybe even a 6-game lead over Ashley. So with 3-game lead with 4 games to play, that's big. And getting the number 1 seed in the 4A gives you a first-round bye, a second-round home game. So there's a definite advantage to be in there. And so we've put ourselves in a good position, but we definitely want to finish strong.
Oh, you heard it from Coach Queen first, right here on Sports Roundtable. Hoggett High School tomorrow at Laney, and then Friday, North Brunswick. Hoggett fans, get ready, because it's going down this week. Some great basketball games going on. And we'll be right back with more Sports Roundtable, all brought to you by Papa John's. Welcome back to Sports Roundtable. I am Brandon Big B Hickman, your host, and we're talking Ashley women's varsity. I always start, Coach Gale's in the building. I always ask her a question. I really don't ask her a question. Talk to me, Coach. What's going on this week?
Well,
let's go back last week.
All right.
Hoggett, Ashley, big game.
Yes.
It's always a big game, rival game.
Football match.
Yeah. It was a football match?
That's
no,
what
it was
felt
basketball.
like.
Oh, it felt like a football.
Yeah.
So a little tough game. Tell me about that one.
Physical.
Got you.
Mental, physical, game. So we were a little bit worn out and fatigued mentally, physically after that game. But we had a great closure of the fourth quarter and the game, and kind of, sealed the deal.
Right.
Midway through probably the third quarter. And it felt pretty good, and then the fourth quarter we took over, so that was nice.
Dot some I's, cross some T's, and then East Duplin in the middle of the week.
Yeah, so that was a non-conference game.
Okay.
That the boys played both home and away, and we just played them home because of our Christmas tournaments that we went to so we couldn't play them up there, but. They were a good team. They were on a good winning streak, and they were undefeated in their conference, and it was a non-conference game. But they're a good little team, so it was kind of, rough to have to play them right after that Hoggett game on Tuesday night. So I was proud of the way. Again, we said we were a little sluggish. fatigue and mentally and physically, and then we exploded in the fourth quarter.
Got you.
So, and that felt good knowing that weekend. And the girls even kind of said, let's stop playing around and let's get after
Put it together.
Yep.
And it seems like you did that on Friday of last week. North Brunswick scored 63-28. And you got you got some great outstanding players, and of course won.
Yeah.
And who did you see? Besides. Besides tonight, who are you seeing going like, oh, that might be another leader right there? Are you seeing that?
Yeah, like I said, it was a good week for Sanaya. She had a double-double every game, and a couple games almost had a triple-double. So,
wow.
But Mia Samadre, she had a great week also. She actually had in the East Duplin game more points than Sanaya. She came up with 16 that night.
Oh, wow.
So she played well that night, and I think she chipped in about 7 the other 2 games with Hoggart and North on Friday.
Right.
And then looking in the book, we had a lot of girls get around that 7, 6, 8 range Tuesday and Friday night, and on Wednesday. So, everybody's kind of doing their job, putting in baskets and getting rebounds. And so with Mia, Lexi, and Reagan and Bryn, they all been kind of contributing and putting in points. So, and let alone that, but steals and rebounds. So
good.
A little bit more balance. Yeah.
Yeah, I see a lot of assists going up, so it's a big thing. Everybody, they moving that ball.
Yep.
Tuesday, tomorrow, you go up the way, travel to Topsail.
Yep.
Right now, number 1 in the conference, and you're looking to grab or clinch that playoff berth.
Yeah. Yeah, again, we just have to focus on one game at a time.
Right.
There's a lot of excitement towards the end of the season and this game and that game or whatever, but you can't lose focus on who you have to play the next game. So going up to Topsail, they're always going to put and give you everything they got at home and fight. So we can't look at anything of what we did in the past. We just have to look at what we have to do tomorrow night.
Exactly. And then Friday, you're home against New Hanover High School, which is another crosstown rivalry.
Yeah.
So you're in the thick of conference time.
Oh yeah.
It goes
That's
down.
how it goes.
Being back at home, I know it helps a lot, but what is it that you give to your young ladies to say, hey, we're at home, don't underestimate, we are at home, but we're still playing some great teams.
The good news is I don't really have to say much on a home game to them. They're great kids. They have great rapport with the student body. The student section does a great job of supporting the girls, not just the boys, but being there for the girls' game too. So, there's not much I have to say. They're always fired up, and they love playing in front of their fans.
It's exciting women's varsity basketball going on at Ashley. You gotta go and see this.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna be like, hey, I went to school with tonight. That's what's gonna happen. You don't want to predict the future, but I think that's what's gonna happen. That's just from B. So get on the road, Ashley High School tomorrow at Topsail High School, and then on Friday, Hanover, they're home. They're going to take over New Hanover High School. So we need you in the gym on Friday evening, all the way through women's and men's basketball. It goes down. Thank you, Coach Gail.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more Sports Roundtable right after this, all brought to you by Papa John's. Welcome back to Sports Roundtable. I am your host, Brandon Big B, and now we're talking men's varsity basketball Wildcat style with the Hanover. Coach Angel's in the building. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How about you?
Tuesday, you went to Topsail.
Yeah.
Tell us about it. Last Tuesday.
Yeah, they play hard at their place.
Okay.
It was a good crowd, good showing for them. It was a pink out night, so they had their cancer awareness stuff, had a really good crowd. And they played us really tough in the first half. we came out second quarter, I think a 21-2 run right out of halftime.
Wow.
That kind of put them away. So my first group really they played out of their minds for about the first 6 minutes of that quarter, and
Wow.
we look up and got pretty good separation. And in fourth quarter, a lot of kids get to play. I think everybody scored that night for us. So it was a good win on the road, because that's always a tough place to go get a win.
Yeah. Then Friday, crosstown rival again at home, Laney. Looks like they put up a 10-point lead and pulled away from you a little bit.
No, we ended up winning by 10.
That's right. We won by 10.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
won by
sorry.
10. The place was packed, great crowd. Friday night, Brogdon Hall, crosstown rival. It was everything you remember.
So like Coach said,
you remember when you were there?
Right, like Coach said, that's a hard place. When you get off the bus, you already down by 9.
Yeah, the crowd. Yeah, I mean it was probably our student section came out. The Heritage Club was big in that game.
They
we
always, yeah.
we were up 3 at the half. Once again, had a really good third, and then pretty much controlled it the fourth quarter. I mean, but obviously Laney they don't quit. Coach Davis does an unbelievable job with that group, and it was. We did a good job on a couple of their guys. Reese Edwards, he had been playing. He was athlete of the week the previous week, and playing well. Mark McLaurin is tough, one of the best.
He is,
returning player of the year in the league. So we just, we limited threes, and I think Mark only scored 2 points in the second half. So that our guys really guarded that night.
Super big. Let me ask you this, Coach. We talked off air. 14 minutes, you had 3 sophomores and 2 freshmen on the floor.
Yeah, that's our youth. That's how. Right now, I'm starting 4 sophomores and a senior.
They running though, Coach.
Tell
me about it.
They're balling. They're playing.
Okay.
Yeah, their effort is never lacking. They do some stuff sometimes that gives me a headache. But they extremely coachable kids. They're working hard. The chemistry with the group, as young as they are, I can't ask for more. I mean,
Wow.
They're really getting after it.
That's amazing. With them stepping up like that. And how many seniors you have on this?
I've got that's the thing. I've got one senior's coming off a broken finger. He's missed 4 or 5 games, and then we had another senior guard, Jaheim Marshall, who's a really good football player. He was out 3 games with the flu and strep throat. So
wow.
That's the thing this time of the year we're trying to get through. You get into late January, into February, and we're just trying to avoid the flu bug and stay healthy down the stretch, which
and
is
I've heard
critical.
every coach say that.
Oh, it's
today.
yeah,
Every coach has
yeah.
said we're just trying to stay healthy.
Yeah, stay healthy
Right.
and just if one kid's got it, just go home. Let's not spread it through the locker room.
Right.
And it's taking one day at a time.
Got you. Conference standings, man, and I asked the question of Coach Queen as well, because we have to explain this to the folks at home. Is New Hanover High School is in the conference, right?
It's
And
a split. Yeah,
right.
it's
When
a
we get to
split league.
playoff time,
We split.
Then we go choo.
Yep.
So Hanover will go to the 3A playoffs.
Hoggard and Laney will go to the 4. Yeah.
4A playoffs.
Yeah, it's I don't like it. I don't like split leagues, but I mean
Yeah.
we are who we are. It is what it is. So we, and we talk about. I tell my kids every game we're playing. It doesn't really matter. We want to get the win, but when we're playing a 3A opponent, that's the ones we want to try to eliminate so we get a higher seed going into the state playoffs.
Got you. That's a big thing. Tied for first.
Yeah.
Right now.
We lost to West. Hoggard's beaten West twice. We beat Hoggard's. I mean, you can do all that,
Right.
but we're both 9-1 sitting on top of the league. Yeah.
Got you. Big games coming up this week. Tomorrow,
Yeah.
South Brunswick at home on Market Street.
South at our place Tuesday night, which Wainwright does a good job with those guys. They're going to come in hungry, trying to get a win in Brogdon Hall. We can't let that be a trap game. We got to come out with the same intensity. With our youth, sometimes if it doesn't say Ashley, Hoggard, or Laney on the other jersey,
Mentally, like,
a little bit, and that's their youth showing that we got
Gotcha.
it. Doesn't, and I harp on them all the time. Doesn't matter who we're playing. We got to come out with the same intensity and fight and all that
Right,
stuff. So
right.
we got them Tuesday, and then we go to Ashley on Friday, which Coach Sculls and I go way back. He's a
Right.
really good friend of mine. Went to college together. He's going to have them dudes ready.
Yeah.
So that's never an easy place.
A lot
to
of
go
electricity
into.
in the gym.
Yeah,
man.
not of. I mean, and obviously with Sinai, with the girls, you go in there, the place is packed already.
Right.
So, which I like it. I mean, the kids like it when the building's packed and student sections are screaming at you and all that stuff. I mean,
Gotcha.
typically this bunch I've got has been playing better on the road. We played really well at home Friday, but I mean they've really been playing well on the road, and it's just maybe that's again their youth. I don't know.
They hungry. Look like they want it, Coach. Hanover, get ready tomorrow on Market Street. We at the house playing South Brunswick, and then Friday at Ashley. So we're going to go down to the southern end of the county and see what's going on over there. So I need all the faculty, all the alumni, all the students, and of course all the parents. We need you in the building for these games this week as we jump into some heavy conference situations to see who's going where, who's grabbing what, who's got to buy, who's going to be at home, which is very important in our county. But thank you, Coach. I appreciate you coming through.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We got more on the way with Sports Roundtable. Welcome back to Sports Roundtable. I'm your host, Bradley Big B, and we're talking E.A. Laney women's varsity basketball. How you doing, Coach?
Good. How about you?
I'm well. 9-1 in the conference, Coach.
Yeah.
You're making some moves. Talk to me.
We're trying to.
Okay.
You know, we had a big week last week. We had to travel down to West, and it's never an easy place to play.
Yes.
They have a really solid student section, and they, with the new coaches that they have down there, they're really making a good turnaround the second time through conference.
Got you.
So, you know, came away with a win on that one.
Okay.
Which was good, but yeah.
It's sometimes hard to win on the road, but
It
you
is.
got it.
It is.
And then Friday you were at New Hanover High School,
We were.
which is a tough place to play in sometimes.
Always a tough place
Talk
to
to
play.
me about that one.
You know, Brogdon Hall, it's got a lot of history,
Yes.
and it's a huge gym.
Mm-hmm.
Again, student section came out for that one, and it being Friday night. But we pulled that out with a 2-point win.
That's tight.
Very close game. New Hanover played really, really well. They got us out of what we were trying to do offensively. So we didn't execute a few things as well as we should have. But, you know, the biggest thing down the stretch for us was making free throws and finding a way.
Gotcha.
Fighting back, finding a way to win. And we were able to kind of, I think it was like a 6 or 8 point swing at the end of the game that allowed us that 2-point win.
On that Friday game, did you see anyone or several of your players that kind of say, you know what, let's get together? They took kind of a leadership role and say, we behind, let's try to fight this thing out. Did anybody go, you know, kind of rise to the occasion that you were like, oh, wow?
I mean, we had several people that were able to contribute, but we had our sophomore, Morgan Adam. She's been starting the last couple of games for us with one of our other players that is injured right now. And she came out and ended up with 15 points, and she hit the last 6 free throws down the stretch, 6 for 6. So huge from the line, and she played with a lot of confidence Friday night, and that was a big difference for us.
Now, I've talked to all the coaches, and it just came up this week, being so deep in the season. The big thing is trying to stay healthy. Do you have, you know, everyone is good, or you're fighting flus and injuries?
Knock on wood, we're not fighting the flu.
Okay.
But we've got a couple girls coming back from a surgery or injury or whatever.
Got you.
And then we do have one that's currently, she's one of our starters that's currently injured, but hopefully will be back soon.
Okay, that's always big.
yeah.
Tomorrow, Hoggard.
Big game.
Cross town.
Yep.
It's always a big game. You throw stuff out the window, you just go and play.
Yep.
Which you know, we just want to play anyway. But it's at you're at home.
Yes.
So that should be.
Hopefully that's a good thing for us.
Okay.
You know, when we traveled there the first time through conference, that game went into overtime, and they hit a 3 at the buzzer to send it to overtime. And it was tough, but I was very pleased with how our girls responded in going into overtime and still coming out with the win.
Gotcha.
So it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a battle tomorrow night.
Right.
But you know, one game at a time. So that's our focus right now.
Right. Do you? Well, then Friday you're at South.
Yep.
Friday's at South, and sometimes that's a rough place to be.
It is.
On the road on a Friday evening.
It
you
is.
know what I mean?
It's tough. And, you know, at this point in the season, everybody's better the second time through. Everybody's made adjustments for your offense, for your defense. And so the key's execution when it comes down to it. And so, you know, we can't go down there and think that it's going to be an easy win. They've got a couple girls that are playing really well right now. But, you know, we won't start looking forward to that one until Wednesday.
Right.
Wednesday at practice.
I want to ask this question, Coach. You said it's one game at a time, and I know coaches do that because that's what you're focused on. I'm focused on Tuesday, and then when we get through that, we'll focus on Friday.
Right.
Do some of your players say, okay, we're right here, you know, they come in like, look, we number 2 in the conference, or we number 1 in the conference, we only lost 1. Do they have that awareness of where they're at?
I think they have the awareness of where they're at, but honestly, it's not a topic of discussion.
Right.
You know, I think with last week alone, with those being 2 really tough games for us, I think it's kind of been a wake-up call as far as things aren't always easy. So how are we going to respond? And I think that's big for us going forward with the last 4 games of the season.
Get ready, Laney. Hey, Hoggart, they're playing Hoggart.
Yep.
Lane's playing Hoggart. Let's go. Let's be at home. And you know, now my grandma say 133. We're going to be on Highway 133 at the Buccaneers home, the Michael Jordan Gymnasium. So make sure you're in there, all my fans. And then Friday, we're going to get on the road, go to Southport, and check out South Brunswick versus Laney. Congrats to everything that's going on, Coach.
Thank you.
And your team. We got more Sports Roundtable on the way, all brought to you by Papa John's. Welcome back to Sports Roundtable. I'm your host, Brandon Big B Hickman, and we're talking Wildcat women's varsity football right now. Got Coach Gaddison with us today. How you doing, man?
Doing great. How are you?
Hey, y'all look like y'all doing great, man. A lot of stuff going on. Last week, Tuesday, at Topsail High.
All right.
17-point win.
Yeah, it was a tough win. First time we played them, they beat us.
Okay.
We made some adjustments, came around this time, and we really played well.
I think, and we've talked off camera, what a lot of people don't realize is that how young New Hanover women's varsity is.
Yeah, we only have 5 upperclassmen, 3 seniors, and 2 juniors. Everybody else is freshmen and sophomore.
That's amazing.
Yes, sir.
And to run the game like that. So 17 win, you're at top. So you come home, play Laney.
Oh man.
And really
Dogfight,
back and forth. They come up by 2.
No, it wasn't back and forth.
Wasn't back and forth. You had to come back.
We were winning the whole time.
Oh, okay.
We were on them the whole time.
Okay.
Made a couple of turnovers, lack of execution. We're young.
Okay.
And they ended up losing at the end. They rallied the last minute, got 8 points, and 6 for 6 from the free throw line.
I thought coach says, hey.
Yeah.
Free throws kept us in the game.
Yes, sir. We were fouling, couldn't stay in front of nobody. We had 3 players foul out. Yeah, we just reaching. We young.
Yeah.
Yeah, we young. We're gonna make those mistakes.
Got you. So coming up this week,
big game.
Big games. South Brunswick at New Hanover.
At New Hanover.
Tomorrow.
And then the big dog Ashley.
Then you gotta go Friday. You gotta go to Ashley.
Yes, sir.
How did it? And you know, when you go into a game like this, and we have to be honest with each other. We are playing. When I say we, New Hanover High School is playing an amazing team with an amazing player.
Definitely.
Shouts to Sanaya Rivers. How do you prepare your young ladies for that? Because you have some amazing players too.
Definitely. Just a lot of coaches like to break it down every game, but we like to break it down every quarter. We want to win every quarter.
Gotcha.
That's our thing. You got this 8-minute span. You give everything you got for this 8-minute span, and let's get ready for the next 8-minute span.
Okay.
So you know, she puts her pants on one leg at a time as everybody else. She has her weaknesses,
Right.
just like any other basketball player, and we try to exploit them.
Right.
But you know, ultimately, she's a great basketball player, so she
Right.
know how to play through that.
Right. Because it's always a stigma with, especially young players. Oh man, where they kind of, we done before we even get to the gym.
Nah, our girls definitely
So,
get up for that. They
good,
get up
good.
for it. Yeah,
All right.
they love to play against her. They love to play against the Laneys. When you see the
exciting.
4A side of the bracket of our conference, I found the young kids get up for them. The problem with the young kids is they don't respect like the South Brunswicks, and they don't understand that
They'll beat you too.
Anybody in the conference could beat
Right.
you. You know, anybody in the conference could beat you.
Any given Tuesday or Friday.
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It can happen
Definitely.
to you. So that's big. What with them being young, what advice do you give them when you getting ready? They getting ready to get on the court tomorrow, right before they jump out, and the horn goes. And what do you say to them young ladies?
Play 100 miles an hour. You're going to make mistakes, but we're going to learn from the mistakes. Just play 100 miles an hour. Do it as fast as you can.
Got you.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you the same question that has been coming down, and it turned into a question. Did y'all deal with the
injuries?
Because
yeah.
we're right inside of that season. It's flu and SIG.
Definitely fatigue. The flu hasn't hit us.
Yeah.
The flu hasn't hit us,
yeah.
but there's definitely fatigue, and the injuries are starting to come in. We had a couple. We got a couple girls banged up, messed up thumb, twisted ankle. You know, the regular stuff. But
Right.
I mean, we getting through it.
Good. That's what it is. Hey, get ready. I wanted to tell you, Wildcat women's varsity, Tuesday, tomorrow, South Brunswick at New Hanover High School.
Big game.
Big game. Another big game on Friday. Hanover goes out to Ashley away. So get on out there. I need all the Wildcat fans. Shouts to the Heritage Club. I see y'all wilding, man. Y'all wild. But y'all get on out there and have a great time. Enjoy each other and enjoy the game and competitiveness and school spirit. That's what it is. We have more on the way for Sports Roundtable. All brought to you by Papa John's. Welcome back to Sports Roundtable. I am your host, Brandon Big B Hickman, and Coach Davis couldn't be with us, but I wanted to give you updates on what was going on at E.A. Laney men's varsity last Tuesday. Laney went up against West Brunswick, and they came away with a 10-point win, 57-47. Shouts out to the Buccaneers. And then last Friday, they were at New Hanover High School, and had a 10-point loss. 57-67, which is always sometimes, like Coach Davis said, sometimes hard playing in the gym at Brighton Hall. But coming up this week, some good games. They got a home game tomorrow. E.A. Laney goes up against Hoggart at Laney. So that's going to be a big game. Get on out there and check that out for men's varsity. And then Friday, they drop on down to Southport. At Southport, Laney goes up against Southport, so make sure you're out there. Shouts out to all those E.A. Laney fans, all those Buccaneer fans. Those men's varsity team will be on the road on Friday, and then tomorrow they'll be at home against Hoggart. Make sure you check them out. Exciting times. We're like on the tail end of conference play, getting ready to hop into these playoffs. So it's an exciting time around New Hanover County schools and all things basketball. We'll be right back with more Sports Roundtable, all brought to you by Papa John's.